So what you want to do with this look is we're going to talk about a little bit of a winged liner. I don't want to go crazy on the wing because again, you want to keep it kind of subtle and something that is not going to be distracting in your headshots or your self-tape or whatever you're doing your makeup for. So what I'm going to do is, what I'm going to do is grab this black liner before I used a brown. Let me just sharpen this up. And I'm just gonna really trace over that general shape that we talked about at the beginning. So we already have sort of a wing shape because it's thicker on the outside and it gets thinner. So it's that sort of outward motion. So now I'm just gonna follow along. I'm gonna darken that up. So that already is a little bit more. And then if I want to do a little bit of a wing, I'm going to follow the bottom lash line up. That's the line you want to follow. And just make a short little stroke, kind of check it straight on, see how it looks. It shouldn't be too much more than that. And then I'm just going to connect that. And let that be my wing. I don't want to go too much farther out than that because again, you just want to give kind of the suggestion of it. You don't want to be very, wing all across your face because it's going to be distracting. People are going to look at that instead of your, what you're doing, what your words are. I'm doing on this eye too. And then I'm going to go in and make it perfect with my little brush. Just filling in, darkening up that line. So I have kind of deep set eyes, so I have a little bit of a dip right here, which can make it kind of hard to do a wing. If you have a flatter eyelid, looks so good with a wing. Now's the time where you go back and forth. This one seems a little bit longer. I'll go a little bit more on this. I just generally like using a pencil for this. I think people associate a winged liner with liquid liner, and you can definitely use a liquid liner if you want. I just think especially if you're kind of really trying to get a wing right the first time, a pencil is a little bit more forgiving. You can move it around, you can sort of smudge it with your finger, and then I'm gonna get my brush again, go in with, I'm gonna use the black this time. Get a little black on my brush. And I'm gonna use that to sort of dab over my wing and really just smooth it out and make it super perfect. Go back and forth. Sometimes when I've had clients who have a lot of trouble with their eyeliner or eyeshadow, I'll notice that they're holding their brush really far away. I don't know if that's something you do, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. Always make sure you're holding your brush really close to the base, and you can use your hand to sort of stabilize it. And then don't be afraid to kind of smudge off the excess or wipe it up with your finger. And again, if you screw up at all, you can always go over it with a lighter color. And that can also be really pretty. For example, let me just wipe this off. Let's say I wanted to calm that down a little bit. I'm gonna go back with my kind of trusty shimmery neutral. And maybe I just want to kind of chill that out a little bit, and I'm going to go along the top. You can also sort of shimmy it up a little bit into that crease to sort of make it a little bit softer and a little bit more of a suggestion of a wing rather than just like a hard line. I like to do that right here where the line starts because I never want you to see where the line starts. I want it to really just fade into the lash line. So if I am going to correct the line with like a lighter color, I'll usually go in there and then you can kind of brush that up. Again, sort of go over with your finger, and there you go. You have a nice sort of vintage look. You have your wing, you have your red lip. You know, it's a very different look from that first sort of natural look that we did. This is a girl who's like going out on the town, who is probably loud, who speaks up. I'm describing myself, just kidding, just a little bit.